All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Rakapodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, Lord, when this lesson be edifying to you, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's your fellow servant Yahawah from the GMS Orlando camp, and Lord, when this lesson be edifying to you all out there, real quick, as you see, the title says Lithuania says Russia is expanding military units on NATO borders. Okay, Lithuania says Russia is expanding military units on NATO borders. Okay, now we are in the midst of war right now, man. Okay, this is war. This is rumors of wars. Okay, but the end is not yet. But a lot of strategic movements have been made from these nations. Okay, and it's like a strategic chess game, a chess match. All right, ultimately from the Lord Yahawashi, but the Lord put into the men, the rulers of these kingdoms, to strategically plot against their enemies. Okay, and we're seeing how things are playing out. Okay, and how this thing is going to go on out, because we was given the eye salve. Okay, we were given the visions, we were given the secrets. Okay, the insights of how the Lord is going to, what I'm saying, cause, you know, commotion. Okay, all right. But here are the in depths of the commotion. Okay, the Lord gave us the broad scale of it, and He also gave us the in depths on parts. But certain movements like this are like the pieces, the small pieces to how they move to a bigger scale war. Okay, and how it's going to also, these little movements, how they're going to make much more sense towards the latter end, when these things start to pop off, when the big wars start to pop off. Okay, first and foremost, I want to grab this scripture real quick. Shalaka, shalaka. And I want to grab this in the King KJV version, King James version. Let me go here. So this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. Let me scroll down. Okay. Verse 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the tenth part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the power of heaven. Verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the first world war was gone. The second woe was past. The second world war is gone, and the third woe is coming quickly. Okay, and if you get that word woe, okay, it means great sorrow or distress, often used hyperbolically. Okay, misery, sorrow, distress, wretchedness, sadness, unhappiness. Okay, and that's all coming to America, Babylon the Great. But let me read that again. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And we seeing how the formations are being made. Okay, it's kind of like sports when you break it down. It's kind of like sports, man. The other team, watching film on the other team and seeing how the other team is moving, and it's just beautiful. But anyways, I get this from a credible site. Apostle Har has given this out plenty of times. It's Reuters. The Reuters, you get world news, you get business, market, sustainability, legal commentary, and more. Okay, so this is good information here. It says Lithuania says Russia is expanding military units on NATO borders. Okay, and this is huge. All right, this is March 6, 2026, 8:01. Okay, So it says right here, summary: Russia developing military units on NATO border. Lithuania says will be ready for a wild Slovakia will be ready for a wide military conflict with NATO. Okay, so we're moving into that third win. How about that? We're moving into that third win of military of all out war of third world war. Okay, Russian sabotage in Europe is becoming dangerous to human life, uh, and we love it, man. The closer these guys start making moves, the more faster they do. They make moves, the more faster we out of here, man. And Lord willing, we be of the elect, right? Vilnius, March 6, Reuters. Russia is expanding military units at the border with NATO, giving them battle experience in Ukraine, and could use them as hubs in a conflict with NATO after the war. Okay, Lithuania intelligence said on Friday in its annual assessment of security threats. Okay, if sanctions are removed, Russia would be ready for a wide scale military conflict with NATO in 6 years. Time, 6 years time, the intelligence assessment said. Now we're hoping that it's in a lot less, but we'll take whatever the Lord gives us. Okay. Okay. Jumping down, Russia would likely create not only a 30-50% larger army. Okay, this is beautiful. Russia would likely create not only a 30 to 50% larger army than it had before the war. And that war is talking about the war with Ukraine. They've lost men, but it said they would create not only a 30-50% larger. That's big, man, especially after a war army than it had before the war, but also a relatively modern one. Okay, strategic reserves of weapons, modern being it's not going to be fought with just manpower. Okay, strategic reserves of weapons and ammunition would be fully restored. Man, okay, and this is the power of the BRICS, of the allies of Russia. Okay, it says strategic reserves of weapons and ammunition will be fully restored. Russia will be ready for a conventional military conflict with NATO. Let me see what that is real quick. Let's get a definition of that. Conventional military conflict. A conventional military conflict is a war fought between organized state military forces using traditional weapons and battlefield tactics, aiming primarily to defeat the opponent's military. Okay. Also known as conventional warfare, involves direct confrontation. Hold on, Salakia. Between organized military forces of two or more states using standard weapons and tactics rather than chemical, biological, radiological. Okay, so man to man stand up power or nuclear arms. The primary goal is to weaken or destroy the adversary's military capabilities, often to achieve political objectives such as territorial control. And that's what Russia is pushing forth. Okay, Russia is pushing forth for territorial control, government overthrow, or national defense. Okay, all right. So let's go back. In the midst of the U.S. and Israel war with Iran, you have this. Oh man, you have so many other things going on, man. That's how we know we are at the end of this thing, man. The water Yahawah shot. We at the end, and Lord willing, we be found worthy to escape the said perils. Okay, with NATO, the Lithuanian intelligence report said, tipping the balance of power in Europe in its favor. Okay, as well as a total subjugation of Ukraine remain top Russian goals, said the report. The Russian Defense Ministry did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Russian military industry has been ramped up with help from China. Okay, so the allies, man, this is why we tell you this is just going to be an all out. This is going to be an all out World War III, man. This is going to be a world war, another war to end all wars, because these guys have, you know, these missiles, these nuclear missiles. Okay, all these different, weapons that was given from on high from the Lord Yahawashi to enter into man's heart to make it, enabling Moscow to reduce its reliance. Okay, enabling Moscow, Russia, to reduce its reliance on Western technology. Right. Okay, when you think Western, think about the U.S. Okay, think about everything on the West. So they're not going to be relying on anything from over here because they have the help from China. After the war, its surplus weaponry would lead to consequences for global security, said the report. Uh-oh. So the big bad wolf is coming out, man. Bordering both Russia and its close ally Belarus, Lithuania, a member of NATO and the EU, is one of the leading supporters of Ukraine and critics of Russia. Okay, the report alluded to Parcel, and let me give you a vision. Let me give you a visionary of what it is. Because we got to start. I got to start doing these things. 'Cause, it makes sense. Let me go images, and we can go. Okay, we go here. Just to give you a representative, a nice idea of what's going on and how far. Okay, so Belarus, which was spoken of right here, okay, it says bordering both Russia and its close. Come on now, and its close ally Belarus. So Belarus is an ally to Lithuania, so it's probably an ally to NATO and EU. So it's an enemy to Russia. Okay, but its close ally Belarus, Lithuania, a member of NATO and in the EU, is one of the leading supporters of Ukraine. Okay, so it's a critic, it's an enemy of Russia. Okay, so here you have Lithuania. Okay, and here you have Russia. Let me hide this real quick. Okay, here you have Russia. And let me see. Okay, you got Russia, Lithuania. And Lithuania is bigger than I thought. Okay, so they're border to border. Hey, they're neck on neck right there, man. Okay, they neck on neck, and then Belarus is over here, but they neck on neck, and so they, let me see if I can get another photo. Where the hell am I? Okay. Delete this shit here. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, Russia right here. Okay, so there you go. That's a visual. All right. So you see why they're vexed. Okay, I wouldn't want to be that close to Russia either. Not with all these strategic game plans going on right now, and war going on right now. Right. The report alluded to partial explosions in 2024, which Lithuania Lithuanian officials blamed on Russian military intelligence, and said it could be scaled up to kill people. But it said the string of gas pipeline, power cable, and telecom outages in the Baltic Sea since 2023, while caused by ships' inclusion. All right, Baltic Sea nations are on high alert after the underwater outages since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. The NATO military alliance has said it will boost 2023. Recovered an anchor is said belonged to a Chinese container vessel. Okay, so we got, you know, military talk behind closed doors. Military strategic military movements between these main men in this kingdom. Okay, Putin and the men of the kingdom of Moab of Slovakia, China. It was just Moab. Container vessel suspected of damaging the gas pipeline between Estonia and Finland. Remains did not say whether they believe the incident was deliberate or an accident. Okay, which nothing is an accident, right? Okay, asked about damage to the pipeline and cables, Menduagas Mazonas, head of Lithuania's military intelligence, told reporters. The investigation was not undertaken by our intelligence, but we have the answer that this was. Okay, let me see. Okay, okay, okay. That's pretty much it. So strategic moves are being made ultimately from the Lord Yahawashi, but he is using Russia. Okay, all right. And the scriptures tell you that the Lord would, you know, the Lord tells you that in the scriptures he would do that. Okay, get here. Ezekiel chapter 8, prophesy against Gog is the header. All right, and then the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. Okay, Gog is the Russians. Okay, and that land over there is called Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army. Okay, it said 30 to 50%. Did you see that? We go down after the Ukraine war. Russia would likely create. Let me highlight. Russia would likely create not only a 30 to 50% larger army than it had before the war, but also a relatively modern one. Strategic reserves of weapons and ammunition would be fully restored. Okay, and that's going to be from the help of China, from the help of all the allies, from the help of Kim Jong Un is coming. That's my nigga. That's my nigga Kim Jong Un, my dog. He coming to help out. Okay, he can't wait to play with his toys, right? You know it. So it says 30 to 50% larger. Okay, and that's the Lord multiplying that, man, because he wants a great sore slaughter. Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Okay, bringing them back into that warlike spirit. Okay, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, Persia, all right, Ethiopia and Libya with them. Okay, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. So he's going to heap unto himself. The Lord's going to cause him to, gain a big army. Okay, so yeah, all right, I read that one. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 13. And I want to go straight to the point. Shut this thing down. Don't mean to be too long. All right. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 16. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And the ends of the world, the latter end of the world, okay, is this country that we're in now, Babylon the Great. Okay. And let me make this stuff. Let me make it up. Let me start from 10. Okay, second Ezra chapter 16, verse 10. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord Yahawah shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? That's the Lord laying down all haughtiness, pride, everything. The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves. Okay, the earth quaketh, meaning that's going to be, nuclear missiles. Okay, and also the nuclear missiles going to cause a lot of slip in the tectonic plates, and it's going to cause earthquakes all over the place, right? Foundations thereof, and the sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are trouble, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord Yahawah, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, that bow is these nuclear missiles that's going to be shot. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, okay, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Yeah, they have a target to hit. And as the apostles and others always say, it's going to be a spirit guiding those nuclear missiles. And it's going to make sure it's going to land right in the middle, in the heart, or wherever it may land in Babylon the Great. Okay, it's going to cause a great impact throughout the whole nation. All right. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Okay, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth, like an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. So we enter in a tough time. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to bring you forth news on that. Okay, because while we're looking on one side of the world, there's a whole nother game plan going on the other side, man. There's a whole nother strategic battle going on. Okay, and this is military conflict with the NATO. Okay, so if that Iran thing wasn't enough, this is going to be enough. Okay, so they all going to come together for the working of Yahawashi uh, 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 will. Okay, and the Lord's word will not go out void. Okay, it will not return back to him void. It's going to accomplish everything that it's supposed to accomplish, man. Okay, so yeah, let me see if I had anything else on there. Probably had some pre-sales or something. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. Behold, I stir up and bring against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the land of the north. Now, what did we just read in Ezekiel? Okay, we just read all those even a great company with bucklers and shit, all of them handling the sword. We just read, okay, those people that's going to join unto God. Okay, it says right here, it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. Okay, all right. So let me uh let me go forth. No, it's like it. All right. It's like it while I find my way. All right, for behold, I stir up and bring against Babylon, and Babylon the Great is here in America, assembly of great nations from the land of the north. Okay, they will line up against her from the north. She will be captured. Their arrows will be like skilled warriors who do not return empty-handed. We read about that. Okay, all right, we read about that. That you know those uh those arrows, for strong as his right hand that bendeth the bow, and his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. Okay, and it says when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So that's from the northern side of the east all the way to the west northern, the northern side of the west. Okay, and it won't return. Okay, it will hit what exactly what's supposed to hit. It's going to hit its goal. Okay. Okay, it was Jeremiah chapter 50, 51, verse 27. Raise a banner in the land, blow the ram's horn among the nations, prepare the nations against her, summon the kings against her, Arat, Mini, and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, bring up horses like swarming locusts. Now, I did a little research on this, on that right there. I hope I didn't delete it. Okay, so y'all walk with me. All right. No, 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 no. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I got it right. Hold on. I hope I didn't delete it, but let me see. Yeah, I think I did. I think I deleted it. Delete that. Let me go back here. So Arat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Okay, when you go into that, which I just did, I don't know why I deleted it. Okay. All right. Mention the Bible as a resting place in Noah's Ark. Okay, hold on 1 second. It's like y'all. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. What was the question that I asked? Okay, here it goes. It says they are the Armenians. Okay, um, the term mountains of Arat likely refers to a mountainous region in eastern Turkey and Armenia. Okay, here it is. Kingdom opposed. It says Arat is listed among kingdoms opposed to called to oppose Babylon, highlighting its historical and political significance in ancient Near East. Okay, so the Armenians. Okay, let me see something real quick. Portion of Armenia. Okay, and when you go into the rest of those, okay, so is many in Ashkenaz. Okay, appoint a captain against her, bring up horses like swimmers. So it's gonna be, it's no new thing under the sun. It's gonna be the same as the old. Those people, even though fucking Esau moved most of the borders, right? Moved the people and changed their names and shit. Okay, the Lord is gonna rouse up those spirits from aforetime, and they're gonna join God. Okay, and they're gonna blow out. It says they're gonna blow. They're gonna blow up. They're gonna help take down Babylon the Great. Okay. That'll suffice, man. I'll call all Yahawashi Yahawashi birthday, Yahawah birthday, Yahawashi, and the water Yahawashi Yahawashi and Shalom to the Shalaki. A little tired, but don't want us into the apostles. That was a great millstone. And Shalom to the whole full leg. Until next time, we'll see you later. Shalom.